Hello everyone, thanks for joining me in today's video. In today's video, we are going to implement this button. Now you may be thinking what is so special about this button? Let me show you. Isn't that cool? So let's go ahead and implement this. Okay, so as always, we have our web browser opened up with live server running on it on the right, and on the left we have our Sublime text editor opened up with index.html, style.css and design.txt file. Design.txt has some of the resources that we will use in the design. So let's get started with HTML part of the story. So for this project, we'll just need one div tag. So let's create that and we'll give it a class of container. And inside that, we'll create a button which says subscribe. Okay, so there we have our button, and that's all we need from HTML. Let's go ahead to style.css for styling. First, let's do our basic styling. Let's give padding of 0, margin of 0, box sizing as border box, right? And now let's make our body a flex element so that our container, which is the only child of body, gets centered, right? So we'll make it flex element using display flex, align items center, justify content center, and let's give it a height of 100 viewport height, right, so that it gets centered vertically also. That's all from body. Also, let's go ahead and style our button. Okay, let's add some padding. So padding, we don't want too much padding on the top, so we'll just say 20 pixel. So top and bottom will be 20 pixel and 50 pixel on left and right. Okay. And let's change the font also. We'll again use Kulimpark fonts, which we normally use. This is a link to Google Fonts that we can use in CSS. It's an import statement. You can just go to Google Fonts and grab this one. And then the way we'll assign this font family is we'll just say font family. Inside this, we'll say Kulimpark. And if that doesn't load up, you can just say sans serif. Okay, so that changes of the font. Let's increase the font size. We'll just say font size of, let's say, 30 pixel. How does that look? Yeah, I think big enough. And okay, let's go ahead and apply the background to the button. So let's change the background color. We'll use this particular color. It's a kind of light bluish color. It's again from the same website where I saw this effect, which is paytm.com. Right, let's remove the border none, and let's curve the edges. So we'll just say border radius of, let's say, 5 pixel. There we go. Let's change the color of the font. So we'll just say color, and let's make it white, FF. Okay, so good so far. Okay, next thing is so the way we'll implement this pulsing effect is we'll add an after element to this button. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just say button after, right? Content will be empty, and we'll have to position it absolutely with respect to the button. So we'll make that button a relatively position element. I'll just say position relative, and for this after element, I'll just say position absolute, and I'll make all the offsets as 0 pixels. So I'll just say top 0 pixels, left 0 pixels, right 0 pixels, and bottom also 0 pixels. What this will do is this will stretch out our after element to completely occupy the button. But you would say, oh, I can't see it. So don't believe me, I'll just make it a background color of red, and we'll see it completely covering the button, right? But we don't want it to be red in color. So what we'll do is we'll make it white, but with little bit of opacity. So I'll just say RGBA. I'll say 255, 255, 255, comma 0.3. Let's see how that looks. Okay, now this has just kind of slightly dampened the color. I'll just comment it out and see the color is slightly brighter. Let's uncomment it out. Okay, so that's after, but we still don't have that pulsing effect. And the way we will kind of give that pulsing effect is we'll have to, and also we want that effect to be on the hover. That is, when we hover over the button, that effect needs to come. And okay, first thing you will notice is the pointer is not changing the cursor. So we'll on the hovering. So we'll just change that. So I'll just say button hover. Change the cursor to pointer. Okay, so at least that is happening. And then we need to animate our after element on hover. And the way we can do that is we'll just say button hover after, and here we'll add an animation. Let's name it pulse, right? Let it be let it run for 0.4 second. Let it be linear, and we need to run it only once, so I'll just say forwards. Normally we used to do infinite, right? But this needs to go just once. Okay, now let's go ahead and define our animation, and the way we'll do it is we'll use keyframes @keyframes, and we'll have to give the same name of the animation that we used here, which is pulse, right? So at 0%, right, 0%, we want the opacity of the this particular element as 0, right? So I'll just say 0, and we'll make it a very, initially we want our after element to be small, right? So we also have to scale it here. So I'll just say transform scale 0. So that way initially we don't have this after element, and then in the animation we will kind of make it larger. So initially again we don't want our element to be of any size, so I'll just say scale 0 right here, and then at 75% I want the opacity of that element to be 0.5 so that we can see it slightly, right? And then we'll scale it to 0.5. Let's just copy paste it here, 0.5, and then at 100% we'll again change the opacity back to 0, and we'll scale it to 1. Okay, let's see if that works, and there we go. If this looks beautiful, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And guys, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.